Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola website. I'm David Porter. I'm here with the usual suspects, Mike Carroll and Bill Englehart. I'm in a different location. I'm back behind the newspaper office. Had a meeting today, so I had to come into work, and we've got some construction going on in the back, so maybe a little noisy. You can see we've got a lot of concrete going on here. This is behind me is where the new green space and concert venue will be for back next to the vault art gallery. So they're working on that today. And
That's Kelly's store in the back. I studied the layout of that. I still can't quite figure it out. Have you figured it out?
I haven't studied it, so
Well, things require study, if you become an expert.
what do you do to study? You look
Well,
at
you stare at it and you put your little gray cells to work and go, I can't figure this out.
Yeah.
That's how I studied in high school.
Well,
it looks like my daughter-in-law benefited from it.
Yeah, we all got new. We all got new
Run up to her
concrete.
building.
Well, now they're moving some dirt. From that's sort of human nature, isn't it? People always want to move dirt from one place to another.
Yeah. Dirt's good.
Is the background noise too much?
No,
we're fine.
We can't hear anything.
No, that's this new technology. It kind of isolates the sound. So what's up with you guys before we get going on pictures?
Well, we're still recovering from homecoming. Bill was out to about 3, 4 in the morning dancing with classmates. Did you?
Shoot. Believe me, it was a quiet evening. I did go to
homecoming queen.
Some of the events. Oh yeah, I saw all that. I was there at coronation, and
Bill said it was an impressive coronation.
Yeah, it was nice. I enjoyed it.
The parade was nice from what I could see.
The only thing that, and I know everything's changed, but I just remember they used to have, if they could still do it, it'd be nice, as you get down to the town square, the cheerleaders.
I said that too.
The band stops and plays the school song, and cheerleaders lead the crowd in the school song. And I did.
Right.
They didn't do that this year. And I don't know if that's just a tradition that's dropped, but that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I also thought there were not that many people downtown watching it. And it dawned on me as the parade went by that everybody in town's in the parade.
Well, there's a lot of construction downtown, but it was pretty spread out. A lot of people throughout the whole parade route.
Yeah, but there were a lot of people in the parade. I think Bill and I next year will just get in the parade.
Might be a good idea.
You got anybody with a convertible?
Well, we could find one and David could drive it.
You think we could get a convertible and Bill and I just sit on the back and somebody drive us and say podcasters?
Yeah. Well, this year the class of '83 float won first place in the float contest.
It was very good.
It's a good float.
There was no actual contest, but we claimed it anyway.
Well, yeah, I thought the '80s music was really good, especially Poco Harum and the Rolling Stones. I like that music.
Yeah. Well, they could hear us coming.
Yeah, no, you were a loud float. Good class. Class 73 had a good hay wagon. So, and you guys met the next night out at Danny Meyer's place, I guess, had a good time.
Had a good time. Had a catered meal that couldn't be beat.
I've said this many times, you have a nice class.
We had about 80 people out there.
Wow.
Well, including spouses and guests.
Yeah.
I don't think my class will be that large. Next time it'll be number 60. I saw a picture of class of 63 had a little get together. And not very many there.
That was my sister's class, and my class had a mini reunion. We're getting to the point where we think we better meet every year, just in case. So we met at Gus's. There were only 12 that showed up, but we had COVID. So we had Gail Reeder.
Concerns.
Gail Reeder came all the way in from California, good old trots. Ronnie McQueen came from Indianapolis.
Mhm.
You talked to Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
Ronnie
Talked to him last year.
Ronnie was our rock guitarist in high school. Used to have a band, played a Fender Stratocaster, purple.
Played behind some big people.
Purple.
I did notice we're not as loud as we used to be. We don't party like we used to. But it's good. Not as
Well,
many.
Dave, in 20 more years, which you sit down and talk about your surgeries and your health status. That's pretty much the whole conversation.
What pills you're taking for this?
You
and that.
compare your medicines and how
Yeah.
many. I take 40 units of this guy, so I take 60. You ought to go to 60.
Yeah.
There were some comments that overheard in the crowd that people thought we were acting like we were still 20 years old.
Oh,
You're never too old to be immature, David.
yeah.
That's what they say.
What's Pat Monahan say something like that?
Yeah, you're never too old to be immature. And I think your class has what it takes to.
That's what it takes to
Yeah.
be immature.
You got some real potential people there.
That didn't sound like a compliment, did it, Bill?
Well, I still think you're top 3 class. I don't care what everybody says. I have you guys top 3.
It sounds like you don't care what nobody says, except you.
I don't. I never have.
Really, he doesn't.
I never have.
Got that part right.
I would say my second wife now, Becky, has got my attention a little bit.
My class,
First wife never did.
my class does still have the oldest track record on the board. 2 of them.
Not relays.
One was a relay, and one is, I think, maybe the 400.
Mark Smith.
Mark Smith, yeah.
Mark there? Was Mark there?
Mark was there. Everybody on that relay. Of course, Bates was a little younger.
He was a junior. Nader Esquerdo was on it.
Nate.
Scotty
Esquerdo
Day.
was there, and Scott Day was there, and Bates came out for a picture on the track. So we got all the people, all the record holders for that relay team. We took their picture.
Oh, that's neat.
That's the mile relay, isn't it? Because I think the 800 relay was smashed by up at the state by that group. Remember that? Rick Roach's son, and remember they ran a 120, 123 or something.
Can't name them all.
I think it was a mile. I saw him run that mile relay. Mark Smith was on it. Bates, Day, Esquerdo.
I knew Nader was home because he talked to Caleb, and told us, say hello.
Nate the Skate.
Nate the Skate, we moved into the house there across from Esquerdo's. And Nader, for the most part, was good about picking up trash after maybe having a little get together.
That's what he's known for.
Class of 83.
Glad you had a good time, David. I know you was looking forward to it. Your wife's from the same class, so you had a couple of married couples from that class. You got Duff and Dee Dee Hull, and
Kevin and Susan Quinn.
got 3. The only
They came
one
out too. We have 3 married couples from the class. They were all there.
Yeah, I think in our class we had Bob Taylor and Shirley. I'm not sure who else we had. Your class got many?
I'm trying to think. Becky would have to refresh my memory. We had a lot of married Tuscola grads, like Ronnie and Becky, and that split up. And
You and Andrea.
yeah, Andrea's behind me. You and Becky. But I'm trying to think. I just don't.
We got Bill locked up here.
Yeah. I can't remember. I'll check that out.
We'll get back with you next week, David.
All right, you ready for pictures?
Yes, go.
Oh,
All right. We got quite a few to get through, but if we don't get through them all, we'll finish them up next time. All right. You seeing it okay?
Yeah, we can,
That's Benny Goodman, I think, with his orchestra.
Yeah.
that is not Jerry Lee Lewis.
Bill saw Jerry Lee Lewis down at Mattoon Bunny
Mhm.
Hutch.
Oh, yeah.
See, some
You
of these
know-
are old, these are old WDZ photos.
That's what I thought.
Man.
That's because the microphone. That looks like
That's
that's not
what you're gonna say.
that's not Smiley Burnett, I don't think.
Oh,
No.
that's
Back in
not
his
Smiley
10 days.
Burnett.
No. Is he singing or reading from the Bible? Oh, that's another guy.
Clem Cadiddlehopper.
That's
You know what?
San Fernando Reds.
Some of the old folks they would be able to tell you who these were, but I don't know.
Bob Taylor would know, didn't Bob's mom?
How was that?
She had something to do with WDZ, I thought.
1940s. That's even before your guys' time.
I was a junior in high school then.
Yeah. In 1940.
Played on that 41 team without.
Played with Bill Huber, great guy.
Oh, these are neat little pictures, David. Gosh, aren't those black and white photos good?
Boy, those cameras were good back in those
Well,
days.
these were Pettit photos, so they were
Oh, he was
Oh,
good.
well, no
professional
wonder.
photos.
He was good.
I wonder who that little girl is.
Now is this Smiley here?
That looked like Smiley, but he played the guitar and sang, and
I
that
didn't
looks.
think it was. Somebody thought it was. I don't know.
Yeah, he's heavy set. That could easily be Smiley.
Yeah, that could be.
I see where he's got that button-down pocket. I tried to pick his pocket, and that button-down thing prevented me. That's cowboy outfit. I bet that's Smiley.
You got a little girl helping out. Oops. There she is by herself. I don't know who the little girl is. And there you
Oh
got
my goodness.
That's Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt.
Doing the Foggy Mountain breakdown.
Breakdown.
or not.
That's
That's not Irv Eaton.
no, that's where Herb bought it from this guy.
That'll go.
That'll
Well,
go.
Back when milk was in glass containers, boy, it tasted.
I don't know why they brought out all the glass containers for a radio program.
Yeah,
It's
one
just
time,
for a photo shoot.
one time Cassius Clay knocked out Sonny Liston with the Phantom Punch down in Africa, and it was real controversial. A lot of people said it didn't hit him, and they interviewed Cassius's dad. He said he did hit him square. I saw it on the radio.
Yeah, I saw it on the. Look at that microphone.
Yeah, that's the old-fashioned heavy duty.
Wonder where that is now.
You know, grade school back in those days, David, for 2 cents, we used to get a little bottle of milk and a cookie, and it was in a glass bottle. To this day, I think milk tastes better in a glass bottle.
Oh, everything does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That Oberweis milk.
Overweiss is
Yeah.
good.
It's expensive.
Now that looks like a Hastings
Looks
Yeah.
like an Owens.
or an Owens.
Yeah.
Could be Randy. Which one of that?
I'm sure you got something on this.
We do. I don't have my cheat sheet open, so
Oh, let me see.
Is that
That's
Randy?
okay.
Is that Randy Owen?
well, I think so, but I have to check and take too long to call it up.
Yeah.
I can pause and do that if you want me to.
No, that's.
Yeah. You got a second? You got it right there?
Yeah. No, I don't have it right here. That's why.
That's why.
Oh, I didn't know if you could.
Okay, I called up my cheat sheet and yes, Rudy Huber says that's Randy Owen.
Okay, we got one right.
Let's see.
We're batting 1,000.
You got 1 for 1.
That's Randy Owen again.
I know this one.
That's the
Yeah, Miss
newspaper.
Weaver. Isn't that Weaver?
Yeah, that's Joyce Weaver at the post office.
Yeah.
That's where my mail's at.
You know this one?
We should.
No.
Give us our initials.
JB.
Oh,
Oh, that helped.
that's old JB at the post office.
Yeah.
Joyce.
You know what? I bet we know her, but just can't.
Martha Pancall says it's Judy Brannon.
Judy Brannon.
Judy Brannon. That's old JB at the post office. Yeah. Joyce.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet we know her, but just can't. Martha Pancall says it's Judy Brannon.
Judy Brannon.
Okay.
Was her husband Dennis Brannon?
Well, it doesn't say who her husband is or was.
Well, I know on the bottom row, second one in is Lamb. What's his name? Darrell Lamb's youngest brother.
Lowell.
Lowell Lamb, I think. Second name from the left on the bottom.
I got all the names here, so I'm just giving you a chance to
I'm
see if you want to improve your record or not on.
Well, I'm going to stick with my one guess. That way, I won't miss any if I'm right.
some of these boys got their
But
heads rattled. Look at those helmets. It wouldn't be doing
You
bird
want the
about those.
names?
That's
Are
a
you ready for the
straight
names?
thing.
yeah, go through the names.
Chris Townsend says back row: Ben Franklin, Dean Voorhees, Kevin Burke, Randy Fry, Chris Townsend, Terry Harbaugh. Front: Dave Foster, Lowell Lamb, Tom Brady, Steve Shoemaker, and Ron Bartley.
Steve Shoemaker. That's Shoe's brother.
Randy Fry had a lot of hair.
Randy had some hair. This was the arm wrestling contest at the community building. They used to have square dance all the time at the community building.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know guys danced with each other though.
No, I mean,
They're do-si-doing. Now I think we've had this picture before. A couple of these are repeated, but look at the uniforms for the band.
Looks like about 1940.
look how short.
That probably is from the 40s.
You sitting down?
No,
Tuscola, Illinois concert band.
back up a little bit. Let's see if I see my mom in there.
You see your mom? Was she in the
I'm trying to-
concert band?
I'm trying to find her. Looks like her class.
Well, I don't know if this is this a high school band or a community band? Looks like high school.
Community band, I believe. Because see, there's some older people in the band itself, and then there's some younger folks.
Yeah, it could be.
It's taken it to Northward because those are the bleachers, the old wood bleachers across from Al Fisher's house, where he used to take football team pictures.
Okay.
That's neat.
This is the presenting of the Oboe Award.
Bill McCord says looks like Willis Smith, Arthur High School band director. Some of these pictures are taken in the Tuscola High School gym.
Yeah.
That's Tuscola.
They're not always Tuscola people.
Well,
Some of the cheerleaders pose is mixed between two towns. And of course, when I'm looking at them, I can't tell. For instance, these are Steve Arcola and Tuscola cheerleaders.
Bill should know all of these girls.
well, these girls are a little older now. That's Connie Gillis.
Third one from the right is Connie Gillis.
I know that one.
Now-
And then, hold on, I think Bob Travis's wife.
That'd be her on the right.
Is it?
All the way down the right
Could be Nancy.
is Nancy Travis, I think. These are all about,
Someone should have got this.
these are in the 50s, I think. This is about what, 57, 58?
Maybe 58.
Got any names on this?
No, Tony Little says her mom's far right.
Who?
Tony Little's mom.
Well, that's her then.
That's Nancy
we got-
On
Travis.
the left is her sister, Aunt Bobby. Her mom's sister, Aunt Bobby.
Where's that at?
Far left. So far left and far right are sisters.
Yeah.
I wondered if you know what this is.
Well, looks like somebody won.
Is that or they lost and they're going to take that guy out of town?
Put him on a rail, dip him in some tar, and put feathers on him.
Those are not Tuscola uniforms.
All
This
right.
looks like about the late 50s again.
Yeah, some of these are from 58. That's Tuscola Gym though.
Yeah, it's Tuscola Gym. Looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But these are World War II vets.
that car looks like a 58. Yeah, Buick.
Mike, you said okay, like you were gonna name them all.
Well, it's how I named the car. There's Chris Hill's building. There's Anderson's store back there. And the Hotel Douglas is still standing on the left. I'd say this is 48, 49.
Parking meters.
Should be 58. I mean, 58, excuse me.
It's 58, yeah.
58.
That's a Buick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oops. So you know,
That's late 50s too.
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
Mike there on the right?
It
No.
kind of looked like him.
By 1958, I was about 6'3", 210.
And he just come out of the pool hall.
I came out of the pool hall with all my money I won off Bill. Okay, now this looks like,
Atwood Hammond cheerleaders.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's got the Rajas black and gold.
I wondered if there was some kind of cheerleading event at the gym because they're all
Well, I think it's the Oklahoma
Okay,
basketball
tournament.
conference.
It's tournament.
yeah, they were all taken at about the same time. They're all in the same envelope.
Yeah, I think in 58, that could have been Bob Trimble's junior year when Oakland did pretty good. I think Arcola may have won it all, though I think they had a good team, 58, 59.
I think Trumbull's team won the tournament that one year. Because I went and watched him.
What school would that be?
Bum, bum, bum.
Cerro Gordo?
Don't know.
I don't know, but interesting. They had a uniformed police officer there at the game. Maybe he's there to watch.
Back in the right.
Yeah.
Hey, move that to the side there, would you?
Yeah, let's see
Let's see who the policeman is. Can't tell.
He's a little out of focus.
Yeah, that's okay. No, that's Mrs. Chaplin,
That's Jim Chaplin's mother.
mother, and Mrs. Cole, Frances Cole,
Cole.
in the background.
And that's
That's Agatha Huber.
Agatha Huber. Francis Cole was blown out of the Brookside when it exploded, along with my dad and Jim Lamb. Well, that looks like a little gravy they're making there. What do you think?
Well, we'd have lunch there today.
Jim Chaplin was the only child of Mrs. Chaplin there and lived down there on
Buckner.
Buckner. About
Francis was my neighbor growing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Jim wound up being a principal at Freeport Aquin, I think.
You know, Francis's other son passed away.
I saw
Gary.
that. Yeah, they're both gone.
They're both gone now.
I think her house is gone too.
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah. Nothing lasts forever.
And her daughter-in-law still lives there on Barker Street.
That's Tuscola's basketball team in 1958, 59. And on the bottom on the left is Dave Thody, great middle guard. Jimmy Fortney. That might be, I'm going to pass here. The next one.
I'm going to pass. Carl Court's up in the
Upper left is Bill Wolverton, manager. Carl Court's a tall guy. Red Etzweiler.
and
Wendy Ron. And the coach back then, I thought that could be Bob Brim. Gary Forster came in about 58 or 59.
Brim was there for a while, wasn't he?
Could be Brim.
Man, Dave Thody, man, he was a good little ball.
Dave Thody, we played Mattoon one time. Harry Forster was here, 58 or 59. We played Mattoon, didn't have a chance. They had a 6'5" center named Dave Ping, and he had Thody dribble the ball the whole first quarter. Take a shot with 10 seconds left. Halftime was 8-4. Okay, we should know this guy on the right. I just can't think of his name.
You know what? That's a grade school team there.
You know what? But let's do this. I got one guy here. Second from the right is Dave Thody, and that's Bill Alexander.
Yeah, 20. Number 20 is, you're right. And 23 is for
Jimmy Fortney's 22. Carl, Wendy Ron, and then Red.
Etzweiler.
Big Red Etzweiler. You think this is
Ed Alexander's best friend, Red Etzweiler.
every time you thought about getting in a fight with Ed, there was Red right behind him, and you always had second thoughts.
Second thoughts.
You ever notice how these young guys always hung around with guys about 7 foot tall? These little guys that wanted to fight. They always had a big guy. 31 we should know. Is that Steve Chapman?
You know what? That might be a freshman tournament.
Looks
Yeah.
like,
So,
looks like they rolled their socks down.
well, I think it's 58 because Court graduated in 60, I think, with Ron. So this could be their sophomore year. It could be freshman, sophomore. But Dave Fody lives out in, I was talking to Bill Kleiss. I think Dave lives out in Utah. I'll think of the town in a minute, but boy, he was a heck of a basketball player.
Yeah, he was kind of the precursor, if you will, to Eddie Alexander.
Tommy Mercer, he was the great
Yeah,
guard. He was a great shooting guard.
Point guard.
Jump out of the gym.
Yeah.
That-
More Arcola girls.
These are Arthur. I
That's
see.
Tuscola mixed in with
Is
it.
that Tuscola?
Yeah.
Isn't that Nucio?
Well, no.
Bill McCord says they're Arthur and Tuscola cheerleaders.
Yeah, I was
Arthur
gonna say.
Tuscola. I think far right, that's not Janet Abney, is it? Oh, that's Kellogg.
That's
The
Kellogg.
middle girl is Jane. Kellogg married Eddie Miller.
We think this is Barb Nucio, the one.
This was 58. Barb graduated 63. So this should have been 8th grade.
Who
Is
knows?
that Janet Abney on the far right or not?
Can't tell.
No, that'd been later too. I'm thinking I dated pretty much every Arthur cheerleader, but I don't think back in 58 I didn't.
No, you didn't that year.
Okay, this is the varsity team here. This is 58-59, and Bob, you go ahead on the bottom.
Well, that's Travis.
Bob Travis, 34.
Wayne Huber.
Cliff Green.
Cliff Green. 25 is a well-built lad. God, I should know him. I don't.
30 is 30 Gary Chaplin.
41's a Lloyd, John Lloyd. 11's Polig.
24 up here.
That's Mendel.
Bob Mendel, Joe Mendel's brother. 11's Jim Polig. 41 is
John Lloyd.
Lloyd. 33 is Pat Shanahan. And 12 is Jim Perry.
That is, Perry's had that football number too. He was quarterback.
Quarterback, married my cousin from Garrett.
Okay, did you miss any there? Because Bob Utterback's got names.
Well, we're not sure about 14 and we're not sure about 25, but go ahead and give us the names again.
14, well, he's got, of course, it's hard to read here in the, he's got Travis, 20, is that 24?
34.
Bud Mendel, 24?
Bob Mendel.
Bob, okay, I can't read it on here. Who else did you need?
14 and 25.
Abney?
Oh, Janet Abney's brother.
Larry.
And who's 25?
25.
Is that a Flanagan?
Flanagan, Willie Flanagan.
Willie Flanagan.
Flanagan.
Yeah, Willie was a quarterback his senior year, and then Perry took over the next year. I thought it might be a Flanagan. Is 30 Gary Chaplin?
30, yep, Gary Chaplin.
And is 33 Pat Shanahan?
Let's see. You said 33? I'm not seeing 33 on his list.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Pat Shanahan.
Yeah, there you go, Pat Shanahan.
Yeah.
And
Good
then,
photo.
then Alice Hatchell says Dean Bliss in the white t-shirt.
Yeah. Manager.
Dean who?
They were a heck of a football team. I don't think they were a great basketball team, but there's a 57 Ford Fairlane 500. And that girl should be the one on the right we should know.
Well, it's 1957 and she's about our age there.
Mhm.
And as is the other little girl.
They're about my sister's class, I think.
I don't have any
Hey.
names on it.
You don't have them?
No.
Is that Weber?
Can't
Burner?
tell.
Is that Burner?
No.
I don't have any help on this one either.
Okay.
Justin Jean Murray bounced him to death. That's
Oh.
Steve Kyle right there.
On the guy in the middle is Mort Cunningham.
Oh, yeah. Pinky Cunningham's brother.
Mort. The guy,
Oh, that's Bernie Stabler, isn't it?
Bernie Stabler already hit his head on the rafters. Mort Cunningham, and then I think the guy is Steve Kyle down there, ready to go up in the air.
Doesn't that look like Bernie to you?
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
know, it may not be, but
Yeah, it looks like Bernie.
but that is Mort Cunningham.
That's the Mortster.
That's in the balcony at TCHS.
Yeah. Bucko's having them do this for some reason. Nobody knows why. There's Lucille Dickinson, my art teacher, on the far right.
Let's see, the original Fonzie's in there, but I don't know who it is.
I think fourth from the left is Carolyn Miller, who married Larry Phipps. Carolyn Phillips, Larry Phillips. Isn't that Carolyn Miller?
Possibly. This girl here looks, God, she looks familiar.
She Bozarth, the oldest Bozarth girl.
I don't think so, but this guy here, is that a Lee? Is that Danny Lee or
Well,
somebody like
they
that?
had light hair.
Look, he's got his collar turned up and a DA.
That's the Fonz.
That's the Fonz, buddy.
That's is that a second one in from the left? Is that a Breen?
Can't tell.
That's the oldest Breen girl.
You know what they're doing? Our scoreboard used to have names,
Yeah, and there are the names.
and there's the names.
Chaplin.
And for basketball, and that's for a game they were doing that. Miss Dickinson was in charge of that.
Lucille. Sweet lady.
The girls from out of town.
Well, that's a cheerleading group, but it's a
Yeah.
Bill McCord says these are Arthur girls. He says Ms. Baker, Ms. Martin, Mary Beth McDonald, and didn't know the third one, the fourth one.
Huh. Oh, it's that.
I thought this might be at the school, but I don't recognize the ceiling.
No,
The
I
school
don't
would have
think
been-
so.
School would have been new in 58, so you wouldn't see this.
That's a downtown building. They're
This is a remodel.
wonder if that's Clarence's. Chez Clarence.
Can't tell. I think it's an earlier picture.
Yeah. Well, that's ag teacher,
Up Schrader.
Mr. Schrader,
Shirley Quinn says Wendell Schrader.
Jim Wright's uncle, I
Yeah.
think. Jim and
It looks like
Judy
he's
and
working
Jen.
on the table saw, and I see the drill press and the racks in the back. All that was still there when I was in school.
Yeah.
yeah, he was very well thought of.
Yeah.
And he and Gene Maloney,
He was our class sponsor
yeah,
our senior year.
they ran a tight ship back then. Whenever Wendell
Yeah.
Schrader or Gene Maloney said something, you did it, except for the time
Yeah,
Eddie about cut a finger off on the saw.
put your head in the vise.
Yeah, he'll put your head in the vise. Gene
Yeah.
Maloney would.
Yeah, you would.
He's an old coach.
That old equipment, you can't buy stuff as good as that stuff.
No, we still using it, David?
Well, we were when I was in school, but that program's been shut down for a long
I
time.
think it's gone by the way.
That's where all the job's going to be in the future is industrial arts.
I think that equipment may still be there, but it's not in use.
Well, that's American Gothic Tuscola version.
Do you have a name on that?
I do not. So
Someone would know.
people can go on the Remembering Tuscola Facebook group and help identify.
Okay, we got on the right's Willie Flanagan again. There's Abney.
Green.
Cliff Green, the oldest of the three Green boys. There's Cliff, Doug, and Dwayne. two of them are psychiatrists and one's a psychologist. For a while, they were all together
Wayne Huber.
out in Washington. And Wayne Huber, that was one of our favorite guys in Tuscola. That was the son of Kenny, the barber,
And Wayne was police chief for a while.
police chief in Newman.
Wasn't he police chief here for a while?
I don't think he was ever chief here. He's a patrol officer.
His daughter Stacy was in my class.
Yo,
Now here we got a couple of new guys we didn't see before. Lower left, there he is.
Bucko,
Mad Dog Bucko. Monty Froman,
Honey Froman.
24. Jimmy Wall, 34. There's Steve Chapman, 20.
Yep, it is. You're right.
Upper left is Kurt Turner.
Kurt Turner, yeah.
Gary Holmes, 50.
Bob Vuklich,
51.
51.
Let's skip for 33 is Jim Perry, and 31 is Mike Browning.
Yeah, it is.
So we're missing, is that Schaefer in the middle there?
Larry Schaefer.
Larry Schaefer between Perry and Bucko and Bucco.
Jim Wall's grandson just qualified for the sectional golf tournament.
Jim Wall was a heck of a little football halfback.
So who did we miss?
Oh, 50. Well, in the back, we got Vuk. We got 50 is Gary Holmes. 51's Vuk.
I think we got him.
No, we think it's Larry Schaefer. Is there a Larry Schaefer in there?
There's a Dennis Schaefer.
Dennis Schaefer. Okay, that's Dennis Schaefer.
Okay.
There was Dick and Dennis, and that's it.
Bucko was a young man there.
Bucko was a young man, looked like he's ready to wrestle. Well, this looks like the 58 Oklahoma tournament at Tuscola. You know, this was in 58. They were celebrating the brand new gym.
Yeah.
58, 59. Yeah, so the jock strap there.
Mm-hmm.
We're cheerleaders, not sure where from.
They're out of towners.
We welcomed all cheerleaders. We had open borders on cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell what the patch is on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Got their deodorant. More cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders. More cheerleaders.
That's how conservative the cheerleading uniforms are.
Looked like the girls at homecoming.
Mm. So, at the tournament.
Cheerleaders and big crowd.
You got an A for Arcola on there. Boy, if that's a 58 team from Arcola, that's a powerhouse.
Well, they used to pack the gym back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be Arcola.
See any of our Arcola friends? Let's try to see who's watching the game. Yeah, that's the way it used to be. Oh boy, great picture. Great picture.
Looks like 10 there is Wayne Huber.
Yeah, I think it's Tuscola playing.
I don't usually put the game
Who knew
photos
Bob?
on because they're usually not too very good. But this
Well, let
one,
me ask you this. Who in the world knew Bob Travis could jump 3.5 feet off the ground? Did you know that?
No,
Holy-
absolutely
holy-
not. But look at that.
Travis is jumping over Abney, passing to Wayne
Yeah,
Huber over
look at
here.
where Abney's feet are crossed.
Yeah.
And that's a great picture of Travis.
Who knew he was that athletic? He was a heck of a football player. I didn't know didn't know Bob got off the
I didn't
ground
know he
like
played
that.
basketball. I remember this guy playing. Well, the old gym floor looks different, doesn't it? The old steel backboard.
Yeah. There's Carolyn Miller, Carolyn Phillips.
Monahan. She's holding up Pat Monahan's sign.
Right, 58.
58.
there she's still
That's-
holding up.
You know, that guy we've seen twice, is that man wearing? That's the man wearing in the back, tall guy.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out who the Fonz is.
Well, the Fonz definitely was leader of the pack.
I wonder if Kay would know.
Here's Tuscola
Bob
cheerleaders.
knows. Yeah, boy, there they are. Got the T.
That one on the left looks like Judy McCumber's hair flying up in the air, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Could be Janet Abney next. That there city council meeting down at Hugo. That's where Bill wants to be. That's Bill's dream right there.
Yeah.
That's Golconda.
That's the, looks like the old Earl Lintler store down at Hugo.
Could be in Vickland. Could that be
Who knows? Yeah,
the old
they've already told a couple of stories.
the Moore restaurant? Yeah,
Yeah,
they're running out of stories.
yep.
Boy, this thing would have done. There's the Tuscola cheerleaders.
Jane Rothgib.
On the left, this is junior varsity cheerleaders. That's Donna Baird on the left. Beard. That's Kitty Kish, my heartthrob. Jane Rothgib. And is that Conser?
Barb Conser.
That Barb Conser?
Pat.
Pat Conser.
Butch was in our class.
Yeah.
What his name was, or his first name.
These girls here are graduated in 61, I think. So this would have been 58, 59.
They just had their banquet, it looks like, and received their award.
Donna had a beautiful singing voice. Kitty looked great walking down the steps from her house. Well, that's Swan Lake.
I guess.
There were several pictures. Now, this is the only one I put up because it shows it was a Farm Bureau event at the community building.
Gerald Wellborn on the right and Joyce Reeder, I think, on the left. That looks like
Trot's sister.
that. Yeah, Gail Reeder's daughter, our sister Joyce. In fact, I think right now this week, Gail drove out in California, was going down to Madison, Indiana to see Joyce. Gerald Wellborn's, remember that great Wellborn family? There's Gail. That's Gail on the ground.
Yeah,
Look down there on the ground.
on the ground.
The guy on the left is Gail Reeder.
And the other one is that Buddy Whalen?
It looks like old Buddy Whalen. His dad was the principal. They're getting down there what's called cheerleading mode. Look at the cheerleaders.
Yeah, look at the cheerleaders.
They were band. They weren't cheerleaders. They were band
Majorettes.
majorettes.
Yeah, majorettes.
Okay, there's Judy McCumber, Jet McCumber's twin. There's Jane Kellogg.
Mm.
There's
She became Jane Miller.
Jane Miller, Mary Eddie Miller.
Judy became Beasley, right?
Beasley.
Mhm.
On the far right is Janet Abney, and the second from the right is Wellborn, the oldest Wellborn daughter. In fact, go back to that real quick. Bill Kleiss was my bailiff, and we got talking about how beautiful the cheerleaders were back in 58, 59, 60. And I said they were all blondes, and we named them off. And I named Judy and Janet Abney and Jane Kellogg. And we said, who was that last beautiful blonde cheerleader? And Bill said, I don't know. And he went home and he asked Charlotte, his wife. She got mad. She said, it was me. He didn't recognize his own wife. That's Charlotte Wellborn, the oldest of the Wellborn girls. Wonderful gal. Wonderful gal. That's is that Carol McCarty on the right? And there's my cousin, Kathy Carroll.
Oh, that is Kathy. Class of 66. And what a great sense of humor.
Yeah. So Carol McCarty on the right. Next one to her is Kathy Carroll, Myron, and
Is that your ex-mother-in-law?
no, Mary Carroll.
Who is that?
I don't know. Looks like
Moody says she thinks it's Margie and Tony Todd.
the two little girls.
I think so.
Harold and Rosemary Todd's girls.
Who's the woman on the left? Looks like someone that made me stay after school many times.
That looks like Mrs. Charneski to me.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be. I don't think she did style shows. Well, there's the
Bell ringer at the church. God, he looks familiar.
he does.
Lucky Ball.
Is that Lucky? The old fire chief back in the late 50s.
Now,
That's Bobby Ball's dad.
Yeah.
Bobby was a classmate of
I
mine.
want to tell you now that he was a character.
Lucky was a character.
Uh,
Tuscola had some characters back then. Today, the only ones are Bill and I.
Lucky ball, I broke down on a truck up at Kankakee once and had to come all the way up there to get me, get the truck started. And that's Sadie Beasley, I think, and Mrs. Connor, that's Carl Connor's wife on the left.
Sadie,
Then it looks
second
like-
left.
Yeah,
That's not Mrs. Burns, is it?
no, it's not Mrs. Burns.
This is right. I'll be right.
I don't think so. She looks familiar. Do you have names? Alice Connor.
Alice
what it-
Connor, Mrs. North on the right,
Ah, there you go. No
Miss-
wonder, Mrs. North.
Mrs. Johnson, second from right.
Don't know Mrs. Johnson, J.R. North.
She was a newspaper reporter for the News Gazette, according to Jackie Brookins, and also the town newspapers.
Huh.
And she says, I think her first name was Josephine.
I remember Josephine Johnson. She didn't look like that.
Yeah,
She
maybe
used
not.
to work at her.
We had a couple people said that Josephine Johnson.
Well,
Hmm.
what was that gal's name? She married,
Was she a famous?
I'm thinking
What's she-
Rose.
Was she a famous dancer during the flapper era? Josephine Johnson. Went to Paris. Okay. There's Garrett. There's Harry Forster on the lower right. And the second one in from the right is Denny Hackett, Maury Reese,
Maury Reese.
Ronnie Wall,
Ronnie Wall, yeah.
Jimmy Huser.
Yeah.
Back row right to left. Is that
That's a Brewer.
that is a Brewer, but I don't know.
That's Ernie Brewer's older brother.
Back row right to left is Dick Bean, Bill Alexander, Paul Donnelly,
Bill Alex. Yeah, you got Bill.
Bill Alexander, Paul Donnelly, Jim Manwaring, 17. That could be Ronnie Wall, 16. Mike Kyle's all the way down the right.
I think Ronnie Wall's on the front right
I do
there.
too, but who is this? Who's 5? I think Ronnie Wall's in the front too. Back row, far left is Mike Kyle. Who would that be then? That's Jimmy Manwaring. And who's 14 next to Harry Forster?
I can't tell.
I don't have any names on that.
Well, I'll give you this one, Bill.
Well, it looks like me last night. We were.
Is that you and Andreas in the future?
Oh, I think.
This
the
picture from the
picture's here.
40s.
Do you have a name on that? Or
No.
is that out of towner?
I don't have any name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's out of towner.
Yeah.
Sometimes I recognize them, sometimes I don't. That's Reese.
Yeah, the second one from the right, look at that, Lena Maloney. Second on the right. Fourth one in is Renee Reese. Is this the Rainbow or whatever they call it? Group.
Could be.
Here we got a group.
I wonder who the baby is.
I don't have any names on this one either.
That's right downtown. Western Bricks Pavers.
Is that the guy you drove for?
I don't think so. Bus? No.
Okay, here we are in the old school, and on the right, this is my sister's class, and she's in the photo.
Yep, she sure is.
On the right is Teresa Wolf.
Well,
Not sure about the next one or the next one. My sister's in the middle. Jeannie Furco
Mhm.
is next to her. I think that's a Wetzel. And that's Marianne. Holsty.
Marianne.
Marianne Holsty. My sister graduated 63. Looks like they're 8th graders, maybe getting out of.
Sharon Cappy says Marianne Holsey, Mary Parrish Kyle. Gene, Furcho,
Furco, Gene Jones, Gene Furco.
and Melinda Carroll, question mark, and Tricia Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be Marianne Parrish. It looks a little bit like they're both the same class, Marianne and what was her name? Sue Wetzel. She looked more like Sue Wetzel or Marianne. Second one from the left.
Sue.
Yeah,
She looks like Sue Wetzel.
this is probably the year of the.
Well, that's just the 8th grade going into class. See all the bicycles over there?
This is
riding their
probably-
bikes.
This is probably the year they started moving out to the high school. Didn't they go out in 58 or 59?
58, I think.
Yeah, 8th grade class. This is 58.
That might be moving day.
Well,
That's Clark's.
that I coached him in
Gerald.
Gerald Clarkson. Looks like Gerald. Sweet kid, if that's Gerald.
Yeah, good boy. That's a southward.
There we go. There's Harry
We've had this
Forster.
one before.
Harry Forster on the right, Bucko, and is that Murray?
That's Murray.
That's a thin Gene Murray. Lean and mean.
Lean and mean, buddy. And he's got on spikes. Look at that.
And they'd run right
He's
over.
got pants. He was playing against them. He was practicing against them.
Yeah.
That's the first load of corn.
They brought it in and unshucked.
Might be a decal. Mhm.
This has got, some of these cans have a John Deere label on them.
Well, it might be down at Daniels
Yeah.
implement or so.
Where the old McDaniel implement dealership was about where IGA is, you think?
Pretty down even more. I can't remember now. I've lost track. Where's Utterback when I need him?
Yeah, where's Bob?
We can't talk to Kurt anymore.
No.
Notary Republic or Public, yeah, Notary Republic. There's things on the back behind her head, but I don't know who it is. Something at the courthouse. That is a
That's decal.
decal.
Yeah. That's where, back in those days, I've written about this in the early 50s. The corn would come in unshelled, and on the north side, they had a row of Quonsets, and that would go down a conveyor belt. And I remember holding on to my mom's pants when I was 2 or 3 years older, blue jeans, and they were sitting there with gloves on. They would shell the corn, manually shell the corn. Hard work. I don't know how long they did that. This is probably 58. I remember doing it 53, 54. You think they did it in 58, still shell corn? Or you think they
Well, I think
automated?
that was early. I think they automated by then. But that's an old picture.
Shuffle the corn's hard work. Shuffle.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
The old dump.
Dropped her down
And
the
then
pit.
go down a conveyor belt and up. Oh God, she had that's right behind her name's Mason, I believe.
Myrtle?
She had a
New balls?
right behind Candy Kitchen where they make candy now was
Oh,
a dress shop,
okay.
I think. But I may be totally wrong on that. But I do remember that. Oh,
Well, we can tell you right now, in the very middle, they're separated by somebody, the flowers. Those are the Corey twins.
they are. Yes, they are.
And that looks like on the left, looks like Judy Wright. Don't know. Corey twin. Not sure. Corey twin. That could be Libby Kegley. Second one in from the right, I think, is Libby Kegley, and that we know that gal on the right. Back right is Jane Rothgeb.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure.
Katrina Colbecker says,
There's a Marcia Graham.
Andrew Rankins, front row, second from left.
Is that Jan?
No, all the way back in the back left row is Marcia Graham, and right next to her is Jones, married Oh, she just died. The farmer out here that lived in her cabin.
Oh, Stinger.
Stinger. She married Stinger. Yeah, these are all class of, okay, on the left, second one from the left, I think that's Barb Van Zant. And then Gerald Wellborn's the third one. Joyce Reeder's far right. Could
Look
be
at those football lights.
second one in from the right could be Heckler.
Friday Night Lights.
Is that Judy Heckler, second to the right?
Don't know. I
Look at
was running around on the practice field.
Look at that band with those uniforms.
Yeah, I was over on the practice field.
They had all the moves back then.
Yeah.
That is very good choreography. Syncopated. Is that Milas Thomas on the left?
You know, that's Joyce on the far right.
You know what?
That's her sister.
Yeah, that's Milas Thomas.
And Mary Thomas, mom and dad.
And that's my classmate Joyce on the lower right, and her sister was married Kincannon.
Jean.
Married Kincannon and moved up to Minnesota, I think.
Nice family, really nice family. Boy, that's a oldie but a goodie. This is some sort of thing from Rainbow.
Yeah, and that's Jean again.
Shirley Quinn says Helen Wood, far left.
Okay.
And Cindy Ring says last two on the, can't see in this glare, on the right are Nancy Smith and Ruth Ann Ziegler.
Oh, I see. I guess I see some familiarity with Nancy.
Well, this is that
Same year, pretty much.
34 in the middle, of course, is Travis. 30 is Gary Chaplin. Bernie Stabler, 79. That's Bernie.
There you go.
12, Jim Perry. 11, Polig. 81 is Ed Cox.
Yep.
65 is that, could be Mort
Cunningham.
There. Back row is Bucko. Not sure who's next to him. That could be Steve Kyle. Oh, that's Baird. 59 is Jim
Baird.
82 is Forrest Ziegler.
Forrest Ziegler, yeah, I remember him.
50 and Kurt Turner.
Kurt Turner's got a 5 in front of him.
Jimmy Wall.
Jim Wall.
Could you slide that down a little bit? You slide it, David, to our left. Okay, that's Jim Polig's at the end. Oh, bottom row right, we didn't see him, is Phil Morris. Phil Morris, his dad was captain of the 27 team with Tag Green. Go up the top row then. Let's see if we get the top row. Red Etzweiler, Carl Court, Rex Bridges, 56. 40 is Tommy Mercer. Next one's Doug Green. Next one's Thody. Mike Browning, Bob Mendel. Who's 74 there?
Bob Mars.
Can you slide it a little bit more?
Remember Hap Mars who worked at the
Could be.
lumberyard?
Pretty good. That's probably the 58, 59 team. Here's those same cheerleaders. Well, a little different.
Yeah.
Donna Becky Beard.
Beard.
Donna Beard.
Donna Beard. Jane Rothgad married Denny Hackett. Lives up at Morris. Consuer. And the one and only Kitty Cash.
What are you calling me for?
Baird or Beard?
Beard.
Beard.
Is that Consuer? Did we say that was Pat?
Pat.
They only had 4 cheerleaders instead of 15.
I'm trying to figure. Yes, that's true.
Well, equity inclusion. You there, David? Oh,
That's the Presbyterian church.
That's Bill's old church.
I believe, yeah. Sure looks like it.
You know,
This is some sort of meeting. It's not church people. Is that almost looks like Lita Whitaker in the back right?
you know.
But I don't know. Maybe that's a different church.
Bob
Looks
Butter says Ted Cox is the man in the picture.
Yeah, well, that's very much true. That's Ted Cox, but I'm just not clicking on the other people.
He was music director.
Yeah, great organist.
Another WDZ photo. And that's it.
That's the Foggy Mountain boys. Well, that was a wonderful era in the late 50s.
Perfect.
Yep.
Wonderful era, David. Those are great pictures. Thanks for all the work you do to resurrect them.
Yeah, that brings back a lot of memories. We were young little guys. We were in love with all the cheerleaders.
All right. Well, that wraps it up. Anything else?
No, we appreciate it. Thanks for slipping out of your meeting.
Yep. I got to get back to it.
Go earn some money. You're still working.
All right. We'll see you next
David.
Have a good one, David.
Tuscola. See ya.